Imagine for a moment that inside your body, two quiet guardians are working tirelessly, filtering every drop of blood nearly 50 times a day. They don't complain, they don't ask for recognition, but they carry the burden of keeping you alive and balanced. Yet here's the hidden danger. Many of us, without realizing it, chip away at these guardians every single day with small choices that seem harmless. By the time symptoms appear, the damage is often far advanced, and independence, energy, even the freedom to enjoy a simple walk in the park can be stolen away. I'm Dr. Brian, and welcome to Channel Vital Science for Seniors. Today, I want to take you through the 20 everyday habits that quietly sabotage your kidneys. Some may surprise you, others may sound familiar, but each one holds the power to shorten or to save your years of health and joy. One of the simplest but most destructive habits is not drinking enough water. I've seen patients who believe 1 or 2 cups of coffee a day counted as hydration, only to arrive in my clinic with high creatinine levels and fatigue they couldn't explain. Your kidneys are like diligent housekeepers. They need water to rinse away toxins and keep electrolytes balanced. When deprived, waste lingers, straining those tiny filters inside. Even mild dehydration, studies show, can reduce kidney function by about 10%. Over time, that becomes a heavy burden. Think of water as a daily gift to your kidneys, keeping them strong enough to serve you faithfully. Alcohol can feel like a harmless companion at celebrations, yet in excess it becomes a silent saboteur of kidney health. I once cared for a retired teacher who enjoyed just a few drinks most evenings. Over the years, his lab work showed creeping kidney decline, made worse by smoking. Alcohol dehydrates the body, narrows blood vessels, and slows the kidney's ability to clear toxins. The result is swelling, scarring, and eventually failure if the habit continues. Research shows heavy drinking doubles the risk of chronic kidney disease, and when combined with smoking, the danger multiplies fivefold. Moderation truly matters. Your kidneys cannot afford indulgent excess. A urinary tract infection may start as a simple irritation, but ignoring it can be devastating. I recall a grandmother who dismissed burning urination as just age catching up. Weeks later, she was rushed to the hospital with a kidney infection so severe it nearly led to sepsis, a life-threatening condition. When bacteria climb from the bladder to the kidneys, they inflame and scar the delicate tissue, leaving lasting damage. Symptoms like cloudy urine, persistent urges, or pelvic pain should never be brushed aside. With prompt treatment, most UTIs resolve quickly. Left alone, they can silently steal kidney function you may never regain. Many people over 50 lean on painkillers to keep moving through arthritis or back pain. Yet drugs like ibuprofen or naproxen, when taken too often, can quietly choke the blood flow that kidneys depend on. I think of a former carpenter who came to me with swelling in his ankles and unexplained fatigue. He had relied on over-the-counter pills daily, unaware they were taxing his kidneys. A 2021 study showed long-term NSAID use raises the risk of chronic kidney disease by nearly 20%. These medicines can be helpful, but moderation and medical guidance are essential if you want your kidneys to keep working for you. Sleep is not wasted time. It is the body's nightly tune-up. When you cut it short, your kidneys pay the price. I remember a widower who prided himself on being too busy to sleep. Over years, his blood pressure crept upward and his kidney function slipped away. Without rest, stress hormones like cortisol rise, inflaming tissues and disrupting the kidney's natural rhythm of filtering by day and repairing by night. Studies suggest chronic sleep loss can raise kidney disease risk by 40%. Protecting your kidneys may be as simple as aiming for 7 to 8 hours of true rest, allowing your body to restore its fragile balance. Sugar often hides in everyday pleasures, sweetened tea, pastries, even so-called healthy drinks. Yet overindulgence fuels diabetes and high blood pressure, the two biggest villains against your kidneys. I once treated a gentle man who loved his daily sodas. Over time, his blood sugar stayed high, stiffening his blood vessels and raising his creatinine, an early warning of kidney strain. A 2021 study in the Journal of the American Society of Nephrology found that people consuming more than 14 sugary drinks a week doubled their risk of hypertension. Choosing water or unsweetened options isn't just about waistlines. It is about sparing your kidneys from a lifetime of silent wear. Convenience foods often come wrapped in bright packages, but what they hide inside can quietly punish your kidneys. High salt, phosphorus additives, and unhealthy fats create a storm of inflammation and strain. I think of a patient who lived on frozen dinners after his wife passed away, quick meals that seemed harmless. Within a few years, his kidney function had declined noticeably, worsened by high blood pressure these foods fueled. Research shows a diet heavy in processed items raises the risk of chronic kidney disease by about 25%. Replacing them with fresh, whole foods gives your kidneys relief, like clearing smoke from a crowded room. Salt has a way of sneaking into our lives, sprinkled on the plate, hidden in bread, or loaded into canned soups. Too much salt makes the body hold on to water, raising blood pressure and straining those tiny kidney filters. I cared for a woman whose swollen ankles told the story before her labs did. Her daily habit of salty snacks had quietly driven her kidneys into distress. A 2023 study revealed that people eating more than 5 grams of salt daily faced a 70% higher chance of kidney disease. By easing back on salt, you give your kidneys breathing space, like lifting a weight from their shoulders. Every puff of smoke sends thousands of toxic chemicals coursing through the bloodstream, and kidneys, like filters in a dusty engine, struggle to handle the assault. I remember a former factory worker who swore smoking calmed his nerves. Over time, his kidney function faltered, and scans revealed the beginnings of renal cancer. Research shows smokers face a 27% higher risk of chronic kidney disease, and more than triple the risk of kidney cancer compared to non-smokers. Smoking narrows vessels, starves kidneys of oxygen, and scars their delicate tissue. Quitting may be hard, but each day without smoke is a day your kidneys can breathe a little easier. Protein is essential, but too much, especially red meat, can overload your kidneys. I once saw a retired athlete who prided himself on a high-protein diet. His creatinine levels kept climbing, not from illness, but from the daily strain of breaking down excess protein. When kidneys struggle to clear the acids produced, a condition called acidosis can occur, leaving the body fatigued and the kidneys stressed. A 2020 study found heavy red meat eaters had a 40% higher chance of developing chronic kidney disease. Balance is the secret. Mixing plant proteins, fish, or poultry with plenty of vegetables gives kidneys the variety and relief they need. Illegal drugs damage far more than the mind. They devastate the kidneys. I once cared for a man in his 60s who had battled heroin use earlier in life. The lingering scars were clear: chronic infections, high creatinine, and weakened kidneys struggling to keep pace. Cocaine constricts blood vessels, choking off oxygen, while heroin often contains fillers like talc that lodge in kidney tissue. Studies show heroin users are up to 7 times more likely to suffer kidney failure. Beyond the statistics lies a harsher truth. These substances rob people not only of health, but of years of freedom. Recovery can give kidneys and life a fighting chance again. The fizz of soda or the jolt of an energy drink may feel harmless, even refreshing, but the hidden cost can be steep. I remember a truck driver who relied on these drinks to push through long nights. Eventually, he developed painful kidney stones and worsening kidney function. Sugary sodas raise the risk of stones by nearly a quarter, while the phosphoric acid in many colas disrupts the body's delicate acid balance, pushing kidneys toward acidosis. Even diet versions aren't innocent, as artificial sweeteners have been linked to reduced kidney performance. Choosing water or herbal teas instead is like giving your kidneys clear skies instead of daily storms. Exercise is medicine, but like any medicine, the dose matters. I once treated a man who took up intense boot camp workouts in retirement, determined to feel young again. Instead, he arrived in the ER with dark urine and painful cramps, classic signs of rhabdomyolysis, where muscles break down too quickly and release proteins that clog the kidneys. His determination was admirable, but his kidneys were overwhelmed. Gentle consistency is safer than extremes. Walking, swimming, or cycling at a steady pace supports circulation without flooding the kidneys with toxins. Think of your body as a garden. It thrives with steady watering, not with a sudden flood that washes everything away. High blood pressure is often called the silent killer, and nowhere is that truer than in kidney health. I remember a church organist who dismissed his rising numbers saying, "I feel fine." But his kidneys told a different story. Damaged blood vessels, rising creatinine, and swelling in his legs. Hypertension stiffens the delicate vessels that feed the kidneys, starving them of the steady flow they need. A study from the American College of Physicians found that controlling blood pressure reduced kidney failure risk by more than 30%. Monitoring your numbers and taking action is not just about your heart, it's about keeping your kidneys safe for years to come. Holding urine may seem trivial, but over time it can weaken the bladder and invite infections that climb to the kidneys. I recall a retired nurse who admitted she often held it in during long car trips. Eventually, she developed recurrent urinary tract infections that scarred her kidneys. Studies show those who delay urination regularly face a higher risk of both incontinence and UTIs, which can escalate into kidney damage. Your bladder isn't designed to be a storage tank. It's meant to empty when it signals. Answering nature's call promptly is one of the simplest ways to protect your kidneys from avoidable harm. Caffeine can be a gentle boost, but too much acts like a whip on tired kidneys. I once treated a retiree who drank pot after pot of coffee, proud that it kept him sharp. His blood pressure climbed, his sleep suffered, and eventually his kidneys began to falter. Research shows consuming more than 4 cups of coffee a day, about 400 milligrams of caffeine, can raise the risk of kidney problems by nearly 20%. Caffeine also increases urination, which can leave you dehydrated if you're not careful. Enjoy your morning cup, but balance it with water, giving your kidneys the calm rhythm they need to serve you well. Stillness may feel safe, but a sedentary life slowly starves the kidneys of vitality. I think of a man who spent his retirement in front of the television, moving little except to the kitchen. Over the years, his weight climbed, his blood sugar rose, and his kidneys weakened under the strain. A 2023 study showed people who sit for long periods have a 27% higher risk of chronic kidney disease. Movement improves blood flow, keeps pressure in check, and reduces inflammation, all of which protect kidney function. Even brisk walking for 30 minutes a day can awaken circulation and give your kidneys the nourishment they crave. Stress is more than a feeling. It's a chemical storm coursing through the body. I recall a widowed woman who carried constant worry for her children and finances. Her blood pressure soared, her sleep vanished, and her kidneys began to strain. When cortisol, the stress hormone, stays high, it squeezes blood vessels and inflames tissues, forcing kidneys to labor under constant tension. Over months and years, that pressure leaves scars no microscope can erase. Learning to breathe deeply, pray, garden, or simply walk in nature can ease that storm. Calming the mind doesn't just soothe the spirit, it lifts an invisible weight off your kidneys each day. Diabetes is the leading cause of kidney disease, and I have seen its toll countless times. One patient, a gentle grandfather, ignored his rising blood sugar because a little sweet won't hurt. Over the years, his kidneys paid the price. High glucose levels damage the tiny filters called nephrons, leaving waste to build up and creatinine to climb. According to the National Institute of Diabetes and Digestive and Kidney Diseases, 1 in 3 adults with diabetes will develop chronic kidney disease. Managing diet, medication, and exercise isn't just about numbers on a chart. It is about protecting your freedom, your energy, and the kidneys that sustain your life. Kidney disease often whispers before it shouts. I remember a retired librarian who dismissed her swollen ankles and constant fatigue as just aging. By the time she sought help, her kidney damage was advanced and dialysis loomed. Symptoms like foamy urine, puffiness around the eyes, or changes in bathroom habits are not small inconveniences. They are signals. Ignoring them allows silent damage to progress. Regular checkups, simple blood tests for creatinine, and urine tests can reveal trouble early when it's still reversible. Listening to your body's quiet messages may be the single most powerful way to protect kidney health and preserve independence. Your kidneys are faithful servants, filtering every drop of blood and protecting you from toxins day after day. Yet they can only endure so much before they falter. The habits we've explored are not life sentences, they are crossroads. At any age, even after 50, you have the power to choose water over soda, rest over exhaustion, balance over excess. Small changes restore strength, dignity, and freedom. I've watched patients reclaim their health by listening to their bodies and treating their kidneys with respect. You can too. I'm Dr. Brian. Thank you for joining me, and please share this with someone you love.